Welcome, everyone. I am Ali Smith with the Minority Business Partnership and partnership with the Bay Area Chamber of Commerce. And we are here today with President and CEO Trevor Keys, Bay Future. We are talking about the Bay County Small Business Grant. And the Bay County Small Business Grant Program leverages federal funding through the Bay County's allocation of American Rescue Plan Act funds to help reimburse businesses that were disproportionately impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic. The grants will be administered through Bay Future, Bay County's leading economic development organization, with a minimum of 30% required to be awarded to eligible women-owned, minority-owned, and veteran-owned businesses. Here to tell us about that, Trevor, what can you let us know?
Yeah, thanks so much, Ali. Greatly appreciate it. Bay Future has been working with Bay County Administration, Bay County Commission, and partners including the Bay Area Chamber of Commerce and the Small Business Development Center on a proposal that includes 3 programs to assist small businesses in the aftermath of what we know now as the COVID-19 pandemic. The Bay County Small Business Grant Program is one part of that proposal, and it's aimed at continuing to support businesses in our community as they recover through the pandemic. The Board of Commissioners recognized the need to offer support in the form of their allocation of American Rescue Act Plan funds and allocated $1 million worth of funding that's being made available specifically for Bay County businesses who have been disproportionately impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic and the gatherings and mask order. So we know that there are no legal restrictions to businesses operating at full capacity now, but we also know that businesses are still experiencing significant impacts from the COVID-19 pandemic, primarily due to workforce challenges, supply chain issues, and issues with inventory. These businesses may be able to apply for up to $20,000 in reimbursement funds.
What is the timeline for applying and receiving these grants?
Yeah, so the application period is currently open, and the application will close on May 31st, 2022 at 5 p.m. The grants are not awarded on a first-come, first-served basis. All applications will be reviewed as the application closes on May 31st. At that time, our team will work with a grant review committee to score applicants based on a rubric that we've created, and awardees will be notified no later than June 16th, 2022. So get out there and apply as soon as you possibly can.
Who would all be eligible to apply for this grant?
Yeah, so there's a list of information on our website that can talk more exclusively about this, but I'll run through some of the eligibility requirements so that those that are on the call can kind of have an idea of this is something that they're going to want to take on or not. The first kind of eligibility requirement is businesses with no less than 2 employees, no more than 50 employees are eligible. So businesses between 2 and 50 employees, and that includes the owner of a business as 1 employee, as an example. For-profit businesses that have a brick and mortar building that they operate out of in Bay County that is not a home-based business would be eligible. Nonprofit businesses are not eligible, but they will be eligible to apply for a grant by the Bay Area Community Foundation. That information will be forthcoming here later on in the year, closer to the fall time frame. The businesses that are eligible for this program need to have been in operation since January 1st of this year. They also must certify that they've been negatively impacted by COVID-related emergency public health protections that were or are in place or had been subject to a mandatory full or partial closure anytime after March 1st due to the public health emergency. They have to be current on their taxes, and if they were in receipt of funds from the Paycheck Protection Program, the EIDL, Economic Injury Disaster Loan Program, or funds through the CARES Act, it doesn't necessarily disqualify the applicants. However, the applicants must include this information in their application to ensure that we don't reimburse a business for funds that the federal government has already provided funds to support, so that we can avoid a duplication of reimbursement for those eligible expenses.
How much can each individual business apply for, and what can the grant funding be used for?
Yeah, great question. So businesses can apply for grants up to $20,000. You can apply for up to $20,000 if you can show that need. So grants must be used to reimburse eligible expenditures incurred between January 1st of this year and April 30th of this year. And they can be in the following categories: payroll, rent and mortgage, and then utilities. So as an example, at the time of the application, you'll need to submit proof of these expenses. For payroll, that would be a payroll register that shows each employee's net pay information, along with a copy of a bank statement. Rent and mortgage documentation, you would submit something like a cleared check from a bank or a bank statement if you paid for that electronically. Utility documentation, same thing, a copy of a cleared check from the bank or a bank statement if you paid electronically. It's important to know that the required documentation must have cleared in order for the business to qualify.
The application only takes 20 to 30 minutes to complete, so we highly suggest you to fill it out. You can go to www.bayfuture.com/main/grants, and you can apply for that there. And what do you need to fill out the application?
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. I would just add too, Ali, if you go to Bay Future's website, you'll see it right at the top of the screen on the masthead that says grants, and all of that information and the way to apply will be there. One of the things that you may need before filling out the application is a document that we have on the website that outlines all of the questions from the application. It's called Bay County Small Business Grant Program Eligibility and Application Questions. So we'll provide that link to you as well. It's a great resource to review, and it gives you some information and some idea of the type of questions that we're going to be asking you on the application. As I mentioned previously, you'll need to submit copies of documentation for reimbursement of payroll, rent, mortgage, and/or utilities, whatever you're looking to be reimbursed for. And you'll also need to submit your federal tax return for 2021.
Will applicants be able to save the progress on their application and return later to fill out, or will they need to fill that out, at the first time?
Yes, so you'll be able to save your progress. Once you start the application, you'll input your email address, and if you choose at some point to go ahead and save your progress during the application, you'll be sent a link from JotForm to continue the application. And then you'll click on that link and you'll complete your application from there. Unfortunately, Bay Future is unable to send you the link to the application once it's started. You'll have to input your email address, and then when you choose to save, that's when you'll get the link from JotForm. But if you have any questions, as always, please contact Bay Future at our main number, 989-892-1400, and we'll be happy to answer any questions that there might be.
Can you define the definition of minority-owned, woman-owned, and veteran-owned businesses for us?
Yeah, most definitely. So 30% of the awards from this grant program are going to go to eligible women-owned, minority-owned, or veteran-owned businesses. Minority-owned businesses, veteran-owned businesses, and women-owned businesses are fairly similar in this program, just like the Restart program that we had administered for the Michigan Economic Development Corporation last year. It is a self-certification, but our definitions are as follows, and we hope that you would keep these definitions in mind when you check that box in your application. Veteran-owned business means that the eligible business is at least 51% directly and unconditionally owned and controlled by one or more veterans of any military branch of the United States, in addition to meeting all the other eligibility requirements. And a women-owned or a woman-owned business is at least 51% directly and unconditionally owned and controlled by one or more women, in addition to meeting all of the other requirements.
If a business was established in 2022 and they have not gotten into a physical brick and mortar just at the beginning of January 2022, would they still be eligible?
Yeah, so that's a great question. If you started your business earlier this year by January 1st, but you didn't get into a brick and mortar, in your example, until the end of January or February, we understand that there are market conditions that, didn't allow for that. We would say that you're 100% eligible. What you'll want to do is when you're filling out the application, if you're looking for reimbursement from mortgage or rent, that you skip those months that you hadn't paid mortgage or rent. And if you're asking for reimbursement of that you only count the months that you're actually paying rent and mortgage on your brick and mortar that you're currently in.
Thank you. We appreciate all the information today. Thank you for stopping in and filling us in on all the information about the grant. And thank you everyone for tuning in and checking us out this afternoon. So the link will be up shortly, and you can share that with anyone that you know that will be able to benefit from that. So with that, go ahead on and apply. And thank you again, Trevor.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right. You have a great day, and
You too.
great day, everyone.